my child, my child, my child, and hear me today. Not because I take care of impossible left it been pawing at your heart, and allow your spirits to become still in my presence. You have carried so many voices, so many worries, and so many questions for so long that your heart has grown tired from trying to sort through them all alone. Heaven has drawn near because I desire to speak to you, and what you are about to hear is far more than ordinary words. The prayers that seemed to linger, the blessings that felt delayed, and the answers you wondered about are beginning to move according to my purpose. This is not an accident, nor is it a random moment that crossed your path. I have brought you here for a reason, and nothing about this meeting has happened without my loving hand guiding it. I am the Lord your God, and I have called you into this very moment. You did not arrive here by chance, because my Spirit has gently led you to hear what I have prepared for you. In the quiet places of your heart, you have asked me for a sign, for confirmation that I am still with you, and today I am answering that cry. You asked whether I still heard your prayers when no answer seemed to come, and I have heard every one of them from the very beginning. This is the moment you have been waiting for, the answer that carries you into the season ahead. In these next few seconds, my presence will rest upon you, not through thunder or spectacle, but through a quiet power that reaches the deepest places of your soul, bringing a peace the world could never create. I am calling you by name because I know every part of your heart, even the places no one else has ever seen. Nothing about your story has been hidden from me, not your fears, not your disappointments, and not the silent questions you carried when no one else noticed your pain. I am entering the places where fear has whispered its lies and where doubt has slowly built its walls, and I am tearing those walls down with my truth and my love. Listen carefully, because these words carry great weight. Long before the foundations of the world were laid, I knew this very breath, this very moment, and I have been waiting for the time when your heart would hear my voice in this way. I have watched every struggle you carried through the long nights when you wondered if I had forgotten you. I saw you endure storms that no one around you could understand, and I knew the pain hidden behind the smile you offered everyone else. I saw the strength it took just to keep moving when your heart felt exhausted, and I counted every quiet act of faith that no one else ever recognized. Every tear that fell in secret was seen by me, and everyone became a testimony of the faith that kept holding on when giving up seemed easier. While you thought you were simply surviving, I was with you through every moment, never looking away and never loosening my hold on your life. My child, let this be your confirmation. The season of waiting is meeting my perfect timing, and what once felt like delay has always been part of my preparation for you. The roads that disappointed you became my redirection, and the silence you struggled to understand was never my absence. It was my careful alignment, quietly arranging what you could not yet see. You have remained in the waiting place, and now the door before you is beginning to open. This message is for the one who kept believing without seeing, who kept praying without hearing, and who kept hoping even when there was no visible proof. Your faith has never been wasted, because every step you took in trust has been preparing your heart for what comes next. The days of wondering are drawing to a close, and the season of hesitation is coming to an end. What lies ahead of you will be unlike what you leave behind, because I have been preparing both the path before you and the heart within you. I stand at the doorway of your life once more, not because I have ever been far away, but because I desire your full attention and an open heart. I will never force that door open, but I lovingly invite you to welcome me into every place where fear once tried to remain. What follows is meant to lead you into what I have prepared, so do not let this become another passing moment that slips quietly away. This is more than something to satisfy your curiosity. It is a sacred meeting with me, and my presence is drawing near even now. If you will listen with an open heart, you may recognize the quiet peace settling over you, the gentle stirring within your spirit, and the calm that reaches places worry could never heal. Sometimes my greatest work begins in the silence before anything around you appears to change, because I first transform the heart before I transform the circumstances. That is my spirit confirming that these words are meant for you. Every breath you take carries the promise that change is beginning according to my timing. You have asked me to open a way before you, and I am telling you that I am the door you have been seeking. You asked for direction, and I am giving it to you with clarity instead of confusion. Your waiting has held purpose, the silence has carried meaning, and your faith has never escaped my notice. I have seen every quiet prayer, every small act of obedience, and every time you chose to trust me, even without understanding what I was doing. My child, listen carefully, because this moment carries great significance. What I am placing before you is ready to be received, but your heart must remain open to welcome what I am giving. Do not let distraction, fear, or doubt pull your attention away from me. Stay with me, because every word that follows speaks of healing, restoration, and the new beginning you have been longing to see. You have often asked, Lord, when will things begin to change? And today I am answering you. The future you have prayed for begins as you surrender your heart fully to my voice, trusting that my wisdom reaches farther than your understanding ever could. In these next moments, my peace will quiet the chaos within you. My love will remind you that I have never left your side, and you will remember that you are neither forgotten nor too late. Open your spirit to me now, and release everything else that has been demanding your attention. Lay aside the burdens you have been trying to carry by yourself, and allow your heart to rest in my presence for this moment. Keep your eyes on me as you receive these opening words, because this meeting has been carefully arranged so that you may know beyond doubt that I am real, that I am near, and that what I have prepared for you remains secure in my hands. Every heartbeat and every breath carries the steady rhythm of my faithfulness, reminding you that I have sustained you through every season you have already overcome. I am speaking to you as your Father, your Savior, and your Redeemer. So do not turn away now. What you have prayed for is already standing at your door, and if you receive it with faith, you will see my promises unfold before your eyes. Type, I believe you're working, Lord, even when life doesn't make sense. My beloved child, pause and breathe before you move on. Do not hurry past this holy interruption, because this is more than another ordinary moment in your day. I, Jesus, have brought you here, and although everything around you may appear unchanged, heaven has drawn near to meet you, and my presence is already working in places your eyes cannot yet see. Before you ever took your first breath, this moment was already known, and every step that led you here was guided by my hand. There were times when you thought you were wandering without direction, yet even then I was leading you one step at a time toward this very conversation. I have been waiting for your heart to become still enough to hear my voice again, and what you sense within you now, that quiet stirring, that gentle trembling deep inside, is the nearness of my presence, gently reminding you that I have been with you all along. My child, I know how long you have searched for me through all the noise surrounding your life. In your quietest moments, you have whispered, Lord, are you still with me? Do you still see me? There were days when you felt invisible, as though your prayers vanished into silence, yet I have remained closer than your very breath and nearer than your own thoughts. Even when your emotions told you otherwise, my presence never moved away from you. Not for a single heartbeat have you slipped from my sight, and every tear you tried to hide has always been precious to me, because I have treasured every part of your journey, even the chapters you wished you could forget. I heard every prayer you could not even put into words, every cry that no one around you could understand. When you felt abandoned, I was beside you, gently whispering, hold on, even though you could not hear my voice at the time. It was my strength that carried you when your own strength was gone, and my grace became the quiet foundation beneath every step you somehow managed to take. My beloved, would I truly lead you this far, only to leave you without direction? The road has not always been clear to you, but it has never been uncertain to me. I have been arranging every season, every delay, and every unexpected encounter so they would lead you to this very moment. You thought this message appeared by chance, but I placed it before your eyes because I wanted to reach through the noise and speak to your heart in a way that would be impossible to ignore. For too long, distraction and doubt have clouded your vision, while the voices around you competed with mine and tried to convince you that silence meant absence. Today, I am quieting those voices so your spirit can recognize the one who has been speaking with love all along. You have carried the weight of unanswered prayers and wondered why doors remained closed, why the road ahead felt uncertain, and why my promises seemed so far away. My child, I was never ignoring you. I was preparing you. Your waiting was never punishment. It was my protection. I closed doors because I knew what stood behind them would wound your heart, and I kept you from places and people that would have stolen your peace before you even realized the danger. What looked like disappointment to you was often my deliverance, and every "not yet" quietly became another step towards something better than you could see at the time. You asked me to bless you, and there were moments when I answered, "Not yet," because I was still shaping the heart that would carry what I desired to give you. Some gifts require more than open hands. They require a heart that has learned to trust me through every season. Can you sense the quiet change happening even now? That gentle stirring is my spirit moving within you, bringing life to places that have grown weary for far too long. My presence is breaking through barriers that once held you back, and perhaps you can already feel the warmth replacing heaviness, and the tears rising not from sorrow, but from the realization that you are fully seen, deeply known, and lovingly held by your Creator. My eyes have never turned away from you. You have asked why the journey took so long, and I tell you this because what I am preparing for you requires the endurance you have gained along the way. The strength formed during your waiting is the same strength that will sustain what I am about to place in your hands, because blessings are meant to be carried with wisdom as well as gratitude. What I give is enduring, but it also calls for wholehearted obedience and a heart that remains close to mine. The doors I open are set within my perfect timing, and that is why I speak with urgency. Do not keep questioning what I am placing on your heart, or allow hesitation to steal this moment of grace. I know you have grown tired of waiting, and I know the world has urged you to settle for less than what faith asks of you. But I have called you to trust me, not to settle, because I see far beyond what you can presently understand. Open your heart completely and place your confidence in me instead of your own understanding, for I will never lead you toward what my grace cannot sustain. If this message has encouraged your walk with God, and you would like to help share this hope with others, you can support the work through the QR code or the support link provided in the description. This is more than a passing conversation. It is a moment I have long been preparing for, one that arrives after many seasons of quiet work within your heart. I am reaching into the places that have grown numb, breathing fresh strength into your weary soul and giving you new direction where confusion has lingered. Where doubt has lived, I will bring clarity. Where fear has spoken, I will speak peace. And where your strength has faded, I will renew you with my presence. Do you remember asking me why you could no longer feel my presence? My silence never meant I had left you. I was teaching your faith to rest on my truth instead of your feelings, because feelings rise and fall while my faithfulness never changes. While you believed nothing was happening, I was arranging details you could not yet see, connecting moments that would one day reveal my purpose. Every quiet season was filled with my work, removing obstacles, preparing the way before you, and shaping your heart for what was still to come. Now I am revealing what I had been preparing all along. The answers are here, the miracles are ready, and what I have promised is beginning to unfold before you, one step at a time, according to my wisdom. Yet what comes next depends upon your willingness to trust and obey me. Time is precious, and the opportunities I place before you belong to this very moment, so do not allow hesitation to steal what I have lovingly prepared. Stay close to me, because every step of obedience makes room for the next part of my purpose to unfold. When I call you, take the step. When I speak, follow my voice. When I open a door before you, walk through it with faith, even if you cannot yet see everything waiting on the other side. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust the one who already walks ahead of you and has prepared the path before your feet. The walls that have confined your spirit are coming down, the chains that held your confidence are breaking, and the fear that insisted you were not enough is being silenced by my voice, which has always spoken truth over your life. I have already placed within you what you need for what lies ahead. You are neither behind nor unprepared, and I have equipped you for the path before you with everything required for this season. Believe what I say about you more than the fears that have spoken against you, and believe my truth above every voice that has tried to define your identity. Do not let this moment pass by, because I have opened the way before you, and my blessing is already being poured out according to my perfect timing. Do not look back, and do not let fear keep you standing still. This interruption was never meant to distract you. It was meant to guide you toward the path I have prepared with loving intention. I, Jesus, have stepped into your day to remind you that you are remembered, You are not alone, and you have not arrived too late for what I have planned. The answers you have prayed for are before you now. So take my hand, walk forward in faith, and remember that faithful obedience opens the way I have prepared. Listen once more as I speak gently to your heart. I have interrupted your day because I am about to change it. Every moment from here carries lasting significance, and every faithful step you take with me becomes part of a story you will one day look back on with gratitude. You prayed for breakthrough, and now you are standing within it. You asked me for a sign. You prayed for heaven to move, and now you are beginning to see it move on your behalf. This moment has been placed before you with purpose, so do not let it slip away. Open your heart completely, respond when I speak, and you will witness the blessings I have prepared unfold before your eyes. I am Jesus, the one who called you, the one who chose you, and the one who stands before you now, saying that the time has come. My beloved child, stay with me and listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you will bring meaning to the pain, the silence, and the long nights when you wondered if I had turned away from you. You have walked through a hidden season that appeared to be nothing more than delay, yet it has always been part of my preparation. The prayers you believed had gone unanswered were never ignored. They were being woven into something far greater than you could yet understand. Every moment you spent waiting carried purpose, because I was quietly working beyond what your eyes could see. My child, I never forgot you. While life seemed still, I was shaping something within you that comfort alone could never produce. I remembered every time you cried out, asking if I had abandoned you, and I heard every word that left your heart. I saw every tear fall, every burden you carried in silence, and every ache that seemed too heavy to bear. When I whispered, "Wait," it was never because I wished to withhold good from you. I was protecting you, refining you, and preparing you for what was ahead. Just as gold is purified through fire and a seed must remain beneath the soil before it can grow, there were things within you that needed time to take root. What felt like isolation became a place where unseen growth was quietly unfolding. While you thought nothing was happening, your foundation was becoming stronger. I was preparing your heart so that when my promises arrived, they would rest upon strength instead of uncertainty. The silence that frightened you was never empty. It was filled with my purpose. During those quiet seasons, I was teaching you to recognize my voice beyond the noise, to trust me beyond what you could understand, and to love me beyond what you could feel. There were moments when you looked around and wondered why others seemed to receive blessings while you continued to wait. My answer remained the same because I was still shaping you where no one else could see. The waiting place has never been a place of neglect. It has always been a place of refinement, where control is surrendered and faith grows strong enough to stand without depending on visible evidence. Some doors remained closed because your heart was still being prepared for what waited on the other side. My beloved, I know how deeply that waiting hurt. I remember the nights when you whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore." And yet somehow you found the strength to rise again the next morning. That strength was my gift to you, and the unexpected peace that settled over your heart in the middle of chaos was my presence surrounding you. Though you could not see them, I sent my angels to watch over you, standing near as they guarded you through battles taking place beyond what your eyes could perceive. They remained beside you when you wept in solitude, carrying your prayers before my throne when words would no longer come. Every tear you shed became part of the growth I was bringing forth. Every sigh was received, and every whispered prayer was heard in heaven. The reason you remained hidden for a season was because what I was bringing forth within you needed time before it could be revealed. Just as a seed must stay beneath the ground until the appointed season, your life also required that hidden work before new life could appear. You may have felt overlooked, but you were never forgotten. You have always been held safely in my hand while I protected you from eyes that could not yet understand what I was doing. I have been removing fear, healing old wounds, strengthening your faith, and shaping your character so that what comes next will rest upon a firm foundation. Do not despise this hidden season because it has become one of the greatest preparations of your life. You believed I was silent, yet I was singing over you in the darkness. You thought I had become still, but I was moving mountains you could not yet see, arranging people, places, and opportunities with perfect care. I was preparing a future that required patience, sending my angels ahead to straighten difficult paths, open doors beyond human ability, and place favor where you least expected it. What has been prepared in secret is now drawing near to its appointed time. You have remained faithful when few people noticed, steadfast when no applause came, and hopeful even when everything around you argued against hope. The season that once felt endless is beginning to give way to something new. What I spoke quietly into your heart will be revealed openly in my time, and what has remained hidden will become clear for all to see. Then you will recognize that my hand has been guiding you through every step of the journey. You will no longer wonder whether I have been with you, because the evidence of my presence will become unmistakable. Yet remember this, my child. Every blessing carries responsibility as well as joy. Receive what I give with humility and gratitude. Remain close to me when abundance comes, and do not rush ahead simply because new doors have opened. I am the same God who held you during the silence, and I am the same God who will remain beside you in seasons of blessing. Your waiting was never meant to separate you from me. It was meant to anchor your heart so deeply in my presence that success would never replace your dependence on me. You have asked why the pain had to last so long, and I tell you that even suffering has purpose within my kingdom. Through brokenness I have been reshaping you. Through tears I have been cultivating transformation, and when you felt forgotten, I held you even closer than you realized. I have breathed life into your weary spirit, whispered hope into your deepest despair, and prepared a place of comfort in the midst of your sorrow. The tears you have sown will one day become fruit, and you will discover a sweetness that only I could have brought from such painful seasons. What once felt like loss has never been wasted in my hands, and in time you will see the beauty that my faithfulness has been quietly growing all along. There are blessings that could never have grown without the rain of your tears. Every tear you shed carried the fragrance of faith before me, and I gathered each one with loving care. What seemed like sorrow in your hands became streams of favor in mine, and those streams are beginning to flow toward your life. The prayers you believed had disappeared were never lost. They have been waiting for the moment when my timing and your readiness would meet. That moment is drawing near. The angels entrusted with what I have prepared are ready to carry it according to my purpose, and heaven is already moving in ways you cannot yet fully see. Your name is being spoken in places you have not entered, and soon you will understand why every step of this journey mattered. You will look back and finally say, "Now I understand why I had to wait." The waiting was never a wall built to keep you from my goodness. It became the place where I was forming something new within you, where trust quietly grew while you thought nothing was changing. The silence was never abandonment. It was an invitation to lean more deeply into me. Every time you chose faith instead of fear, you were watering the promise I had already planted inside your heart. You did not lose those years, you gained strength. You did not lose opportunities, you gained wisdom. Most importantly, you did not lose me. You discovered my presence in ways you could never have known without the waiting. So do not despise that hidden season anymore, because it became holy ground where your faith grew deep roots and learned to rest completely in me, even when nothing around you seemed to make sense. Now, my beloved, the season of waiting is drawing to its close. The ground that once received your tears is preparing to bear fruit, and what remained hidden is giving way to a season of harvest. The things that seemed delayed are being released. Doors that remained shut are beginning to open, and the prayers you carried for so long are moving according to my purpose in ways greater than you imagined. If this speaks to your heart, come in Jesus, you are my forever, if you are committed to following him without turning back. As my blessings unfold, never forget what the waiting taught you. True strength is found through surrender, not striving. I hid you to purify you, not to punish you, and I refined you to strengthen you rather than weaken you. I prepared you in places where few could see, so that I could entrust you with what would one day be seen openly. You have endured the testing of time, my child. Rise now, because the season of hiddenness is coming to its end, and my light is beginning to shine over your life. What I have been preparing quietly behind the scenes is ready to be revealed, and every tear you once shed has become part of the miracle now beginning to bloom before you. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you carries the weight of my timing. You have entered what I call the 45-second test, and it is far more than a measure of time. It represents how sacred and powerful those moments become when I speak, and you choose how to respond. Every answer, every open door, and every breakthrough I have prepared has always rested within reach. Yet receiving it has depended on what you do in those moments when I whisper, "Move." This test is not about waiting months or years. It is about that brief space between hearing my voice and responding with faith. More blessings have stood at the doorway of your life than you realize, waiting to be welcomed, yet hesitation allowed some of them to pass unopened. Do not let that happen again, because once more you are standing before a doorway I have prepared for you. This is not a threat, it is my invitation. I am giving you the opportunity to respond while the door remains open, and these moments are holy. I am watching more than your words. I am looking at the posture of your heart. Many times you prayed, "Lord, show me when to move." And I answered, but fear urged you to wait for another sign, another confirmation, or a more comfortable moment. You sensed me leading you toward forgiveness, toward release, and toward faithful obedience. Yet hesitation delayed your response. While you waited, that moment passed, and what I had prepared for that season remained untouched. Many of my children miss what I place before them, not because I refuse to give, but because they hesitate when I open the door. Obedience carries its own rhythm, and every step of faith moves in harmony with my timing. When I speak, creation responds. But when fear delays your response, that moment of alignment begins to fade. I tell you this to awaken your heart, not to fill it with fear. Right now there is a door before you, unlike any other. And this is not a test of determination. It is a test of trust. I am asking you to move before you can see the outcome and to say yes while others still question. Do you remember the Israelites standing before the Red Sea? The waters opened only after they stepped forward in faith. Do you remember Peter leaving the boat? The miracle began when he trusted me enough to take that first step. Throughout my word, miracles followed obedient faith because they respond to trust rather than comfort. You have prayed for open doors, and now they are opening before you. What happens next depends upon how you respond when I speak. The 45-second test is that sacred space between hearing my voice and choosing whether you will obey. It is not really about time. It is about trust. Do not overanalyze what I am placing on your heart or drown my quiet voice beneath endless reasoning. Obedience is rarely comfortable, and it often asks something of you, but what it produces reaches far beyond the present moment. If you respond when I call, doors that have remained closed for years will begin to open. If fear persuades you to delay once again, the opportunity may pass like sand slipping through your hands, leaving only the ache of wondering what might have been. You have often said, "Lord, I will obey when I feel ready," but readiness has never been the requirement for what comes from me. Faith has always been. You do not need every answer before saying yes. You only need to trust the one who already holds every answer. I see what lies ahead, even when you cannot. And that is why I ask for your obedience rather than your complete understanding. Every act of trust becomes a seed in my hands. Even the smallest step of obedience becomes a key that opens doors long thought impossible to unlock. You have waited long enough, my beloved, and now the season of hesitation must come to an end. The opportunities before you will require a willing and timely response. Do you see how distraction so often becomes the enemy's greatest weapon? He does not have to take your blessing if he can persuade you to postpone your obedience. Every time you answer later when I have said now, that delay works against what I am doing. But today I am breaking that pattern, replacing fear with courage, doubt with faith, and hesitation with faithful movement. This time you will not miss what I am placing before you. My child, I am speaking to you plainly because this moment carries great importance. What you have been asking me for has already been released according to my will, and the answers are already on their way, even if your eyes have not yet seen them arrive. There are movements taking place beyond what you can measure, and I have never stopped working on your behalf. The angels entrusted with what I have prepared are moving according to your response of faith, so the sooner you trust me, the sooner you will step into what I have already set before you. Do not keep saying, "maybe tomorrow," and do not wait until you feel completely certain, because faith has never been built upon certainty. It has always been built upon surrender. The heart that trusts me before it understands will discover that my timing has always been faithful. Right now, your yes carries more weight than you realize. What may seem like one quiet decision today will become the moment you remember for years to come, because there will come a day when you look back and recognize that everything began to change through one simple act of obedience. I remember every time you prayed, "Lord, I wish I could hear your voice more clearly." I heard those prayers spoken through tears, through silence, and through weary moments when you wondered whether I was still listening. My child, this is absolved, not because you're sifted, but because I take care of impossible lift, the clarity you have been asking for. Do not overlook the simplicity of my voice because you expected something louder. Very often, I speak most clearly when your heart is finally quiet enough to listen. Trust me. When I gently stir your heart, take the step I place before you, even if it feels small in your own eyes. When I whisper, go, answer me with your yes. And when I ask you to release something, place it into my hands without holding back, knowing that I never ask you to surrender anything without a greater purpose. Some of the most meaningful moments in your journey will begin with a single act of quiet obedience that no one else even notices. Do not wait for a more convenient season, because the moment before you is the one I have appointed. My timing is never measured by human calendars or limited by earthly clocks. It unfolds according to my eternal purpose. What feels early or late to you has always rested perfectly within my hands. The 45 seconds is a symbol, not simply a measure of time. It represents the sacred space between my word and your response, the quiet heartbeat of obedience, where trust is revealed and faith takes its first step before certainty ever arrives. In that brief space, your heart decides whether it will cling to fear or rest in my faithfulness. Within that moment, the path can move toward breakthrough or remain in delay according to how you respond. This is why I invite you to listen with more than your ears. Listen with a heart that is willing to trust the one who has always been leading you with love. If his presence has healed the places that were broken within you, say, Amen. You healed my soul. And if this message has encouraged your heart, share this video with someone who may need to be reminded today that God is still speaking, still guiding, and still faithful.